Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with me, because I have a feeling we are going to become very good friends by the end of this little talk. When was the last time you woke up and the very first words out of your mouth, or even just inside your head, were something wonderful? Something like, I am blessed, I am ready. Today is going to be magnificent. When was the last time that happened? If you are sitting there, squinting at your screen, trying to remember, do not worry, because most people cannot remember either. Most people wake up and the first thing they say out loud or in the silent theater of their own mind is something closer to, oh no, not again, or I am so tired, or I already know today is going to be a disaster. And then they wonder, bless their hearts, why life keeps serving them the same cold soup day after day. Well, my dear, I am here today to talk to you about the two most powerful words in the entire English language, perhaps in any language. Two little words that, when you attach the right thing to them, can absolutely transform the entire landscape of your life. Those two words are simply this: I am. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away and I see you hovering over that button, hear me out. This is not fluffy nonsense. This is not something I am making up to sell you crystals or a very expensive journal. What I am about to share with you is rooted in something ancient, something logical, something that the greatest thinkers, mystics, philosophers, and yes, even modern scientists have been circling around for centuries. And I am going to give it to you straight, with a little humor on the side, because life is far too short to learn things in a boring way. So settle in, get comfortable, and let us begin. I want to first acknowledge something important. I want to acknowledge that you are probably here because something in your life is not quite going the way you hoped. Maybe it is your finances. Maybe you feel like money has a personal vendetta against you. It shows up just long enough to say hello and then disappears like a bad date. Maybe it is your health, or your relationships, or your career. Maybe you have tried positive thinking before, and it felt like putting a tiny bandage on a very large wound. Maybe you have stood in front of the mirror, looked yourself in the eye, and said some affirmation you read on a website, and felt absolutely ridiculous, and nothing changed. And you went back to feeling stuck. I know, I understand, and I want you to know that your struggle is real, and it is valid, and you are not broken. You are simply operating on old information. Like a telephone that has not been updated in years, perfectly good machine, just running very outdated software. Today we are going to update you. Here is the thing that nobody tells you clearly enough. Your words are not just sounds. They are not just vibrations in the air that die the moment they leave your lips. Your words, and especially your I am statements, are instructions. They are direct commands sent to the most powerful creative force in the universe, which happens to live inside you. Every single time you say, I am, you are essentially signing a divine contract. You are telling the universe, yes, please bring me more of this. So when you wake up in the morning and say, I am so exhausted, the universe, bless its very literal heart, says, wonderful, more exhaustion coming right up. When you say, I am terrible with money, the universe does not argue with you. It does not say, now, that is not entirely true. It simply says, understood, confirming, terrible with money, request received. And then it very helpfully arranges circumstances that confirm exactly what you said. This is not punishment. This is not the universe being cruel or indifferent. This is actually the universe being extraordinarily cooperative. The tragedy is simply that most people have been giving it the wrong instructions for years and years without even realizing it. Now let me give you the science of it, because I believe you deserve both the poetry and the logic. There is a part of your brain, the neuroscientists call it the reticular activating system, which sounds terrifying, but stay with me, that acts as a filter. Your brain receives something like 11 million bits of information every single second from your environment. 11 million. But your conscious mind can only process about 40 to 50 of those bits at a time. So your brain has to decide what gets through and what gets filtered out. And how does it decide? It filters based on what you believe to be true about yourself and your world. So when you repeatedly say, I am unlucky, your brain literally starts filtering out evidence of luck and good fortune in your life. It becomes, in a very real neurological sense, blind to opportunity. And when you start saying, I am fortunate, I am guided, I am supported, your brain begins slowly at first, then with gathering momentum, to notice all the ways in which that is actually true. The opportunity was always there. The good fortune was always present. You simply could not see it because you had given your filter the wrong instructions. This is not magic, although it feels like magic when it works. This is biology. This is how you are built. And once you understand how you are built, you can begin to work with your own design instead of against it. Now here is where it gets truly wonderful. Beyond the neuroscience, and I do love a good bit of neuroscience, there is something even deeper at work. There is a spiritual law, older than any laboratory, that says the word you speak in faith goes out and does not return void. It accomplishes the thing it was sent to do. Every spiritual tradition on earth, in one form or another, has said some version of this. The ancient Hebrews knew it. The mystics of the East knew it. The Stoics hinted at it. And it comes down to this simple truth. Your dominant thought, clothed in feeling and spoken as declaration, becomes your living experience. I am is the name of God within you. It is the creative power. And when you attach words to it, you are activating that creative power in a very specific direction. You are not wishing. You are not hoping. You are declaring. There is a world of difference between I hope I will be successful someday and I am successful. I am moving toward my highest good right now. One is a plea, the other is a decree, and the universe responds to decrees. Now I can already hear some of you saying, but wait. If I say I am wealthy and I look in my bank account and it says something very different, am I not just lying to myself? Is that not a little bit delusional? And that is a fair question, and I love you for asking it. Here is my answer. You are not describing your present condition. You are declaring your divine design. There is a difference between where you currently stand and what you are in the process of becoming. When a seed is planted in the ground, it does not look like a tree. But if that seed could speak, and you asked it what it was, the honest answer would not be a small brown thing in the dirt. The honest answer would be, I am an oak, because that is its nature. That is what it is in the process of becoming. You are always in the process of becoming something. The only question is whether you are consciously directing that process or leaving it to the random chatter of an undisciplined mind. So, let us get practical. Let us get delightfully, specifically, actionably practical. I want to give you a set of I am affirmations that, if you listen to them every single day, not just once, not just when you feel like it, but with consistency and with feeling, will begin to rewire the story you are telling about yourself. And I want to walk you through them slowly, because the words matter, and the feeling you attach to them matters even more. Are you ready? Take a breath. Sit up just a little. Put your hand on your heart if you feel called to, and let these words land somewhere deep. I am divinely guided in all my ways. Say that again with me. I am divinely guided in all my ways. Not sometimes, not when things are going well. In all my ways. This means that even when the road looks confusing, even when the map seems wrong, even when you cannot see 3 feet in front of you, there is a wisdom greater than your own personal panic that knows exactly where you are going and exactly how to get you there. You do not have to figure everything out. You are guided. I am a magnet for miracles. Now that one is fun, is it not? I am a magnet for miracles. Say it like you mean it. Because what is a miracle, really? A miracle is simply a good thing you were not expecting. And when you declare yourself a magnet for them, you start noticing all the small, extraordinary things that were always happening around you that you were too busy worrying to see. The parking spot that appeared at the exact right moment. The phone call that came just when you needed it. The check in the mail. The kind word from a stranger. These things happen all the time. When you are a magnet for miracles, you start collecting them instead of dismissing them. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. Oh, this one is where a lot of people get stuck. Not because they do not believe it intellectually, but because somewhere along the road of life, someone, a parent, a teacher, an old partner, a harsh circumstance convinced them they were not quite enough, not quite deserving, not quite worthy of the really good things. And that belief burrowed itself deep, and now it sits there, quietly blocking every good thing that tries to come through the door. I want you to say this one out loud, right now. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. Your worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you were born with. It is your divine inheritance. You did not have to do anything to deserve to breathe air, did you? The air simply came to you because you needed it. Abundance works the same way when you stop arguing with your own worthiness. I am open and receptive to all good. This one is about removing the invisible walls. A lot of people want good things, but they are, unconsciously, completely closed to receiving them. They push away compliments. They refuse help. They say, "Oh, I could never afford that," before they have even investigated whether it is possible. Being open and receptive is an active choice. It is a posture of the soul. Say it and mean it. I am open and receptive to all good. I am healthy, whole, and complete. Now I want to be very clear here. If you are dealing with a physical health challenge, please continue working with your doctors. Please do not throw out your medication and replace it with a declaration. But also, understand that the body listens to the mind. The body is always, always listening to the story you tell about it. When you habitually say, "I am always sick," or "My body always lets me down," or "I have terrible genes," your body takes notes. It says, "Understood. Message received." What would happen if instead you said, "Every morning, I am healthy, whole, and complete. My body knows how to heal. My body is on my side." You might be surprised what your body can do when you stop working against it. I am prosperous in all that I do. Not just financially, though yes, financially too. Prosperous in your ideas. Prosperous in your relationships. Prosperous in your creativity. Prosperity is not just a bank balance. It is a state of overflow. It is the feeling that there is more than enough love, more than enough opportunity, more than enough time, more than enough of everything good. When you walk through the world as a prosperous person in spirit, the material world eventually catches up. It has to. The outer world is always, always a reflection of the inner one. I am living my divine purpose, even if you do not fully know what that purpose is yet, even if you are still figuring it out. You are allowed to declare yourself on purpose before you have all the details. In fact, that declaration is often what begins to clarify the details. When you stop saying, "I have no idea what I am supposed to be doing with my life,"